Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and that is right, Tennessee Titans fans. We need to have the conversation. What if Marcus Mariota does not earn that contract extension? What if he's truly not the franchise quarterback? Yes, even me, even I have to come on here and have this conversation, begin to consider some long-term options, because the fact of the matter is this is it, right? 2019, it's the year to find out if Marcus Mariota is that guy or not, and I'm actually quite shocked that as far as I know, there are no contract negotiations happening between Mariota and the Titans. Both parties are going into this year and saying, let's find out. And it's very interesting because I think if Mariota would really stick to his guns, say, I'm not going to training camp, I'm not going to mini camp, he could have maybe forced at least a couple year extension from John Robinson, maybe. But the good thing is the Titans traded for Ryan Tannehill, so they now have pretty good leverage. But I think it could have got ugly. But Mariota saying, you know what, you guys are right, I need to prove it. And we're going to see. So I still believe Mariota is going to prove it this year. But a lot of you guys are like me. You want to look for the future. How are we going to get to the Super Bowl? In case Plan A fails, how can we get there? What's Plan B? What's going to be the quarterback market in 2020? Now, most years it's bad. Okay, most years you're going to the quarterback market. Good luck. You're not going to find diddly squat. You're in trouble. However, 2020, and I'm being kind of optimistic here, it looks rich. I think it looks very rich. Now, again, these are very preliminary discussions. This is May 28th, 2019 as the recording of this video. You're probably watching it a couple days, maybe even a couple months later. Who the hell knows? But I'm pretty optimistic right now. There's a lot of franchise quarterbacks in the NFL, but there's also a lot of guys kind of falling through the cracks as quarterbacks keep getting better and better at the top. There are some decent options falling. Marcus Mariota would, without a doubt, be a franchise quarterback 10 years ago. Right, 10 years ago, Marcus Mariota might be a top 10 quarterback, but right now the level of play in the league is so hot. Baker Mayfield comes in as a rookie, gets 27 touchdowns to like 13 interceptions, and he's average statistically. I mean, that's insane. That's like the best rookie quarterback year ever. Okay, that's just how crazy right now it is in the league. Kirk Cousins has a damn good year statistically last year. People are criticizing him. It's insane right now in the NFL. There look like there's going to be some good options in 2020. Let's discuss it now. And again, I hope we don't have to go down this road, but if we have to, I think we could find our guy. So we're going to start very optimistically and then go realistically as we come down. Let's start with the trade market. Now, this is where things get interesting. Two names that I would like, that I would be down for, and where I would start if I was John Robinson. I would start these conversations in January. So for some reason, Mariota got injured or whatever. In January, I would start these discussions for these two men. First of which, Cam Newton. Yes, Cam Newton could find himself on the trade block by January. Now, I doubt this, but the Carolina Panthers did draft quarterback Will Grier out of Western Virginia in the third round of this 2019 NFL draft. Cam Newton has been going through some shoulder problems, some injuries, and he has been inconsistent for the Panthers. Now, reigning from an MVP season all the way down to like being a disappointing 6-10 every now and then. So he has a good range in terms of his output, and the Panthers do as a team as well. And also, his personality, he's a big boisterous guy, a big loud guy. They have some problems there. It's not smooth, it's not clean. The Panthers could trade him next offseason and only incur a $2 million dead cap hit, or they could release him, but I highly doubt they'll release him. Someone would take Cam Newton. So let's just talk about trading. They could trade him and only incur like a $2 million cap hit. Okay, that means he's very flexible to trade, but there's only one way this happens to me. If he comes out next year and he absolutely stinks, and even then I'm pretty sure they give him another year, or if he gets injured. If that shoulder flares up again and Will Grier comes in, and this is the number 2 component, Will Grier would have to come in and have to play really well, okay, to the point where they're like, oh snap, I think this guy's better. And then hopefully they completely buy into that and they trade away Cam Newton. Or maybe they trade away Will Greer and then he'd be on the market for us. Again, I doubt this. But I'm a Cam Newton fan. Now, he's not perfect. He is not perfect. But if I'm ranking the 32 quarterbacks in the league, and I did it pretty recently on my own. I didn't release it as a video, but I might one day. It's very controversial. I'm not sure if I want to go down that road. I have him as about 15 or 16, maybe at worst 17. It's pretty good. Like, that is pretty good. And if you're drafting a guy, tomorrow, you hope to God he gets there. And we know that Cam Newton can be an MVP candidate. He can lead your team to the Super Bowl, dog. And if he would have just had, an on day, they probably would have won it. Or maybe not even on day if he just would not have had an off day. Because the Panthers were overwhelming favorites. Everyone thought they were going to win that Super Bowl. They had just blown past Arizona Cardinals in the NFC Championship and the playoffs in general. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. I'm still shocked that they lost that thing. 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure they would have won that game. I don't know what happened in that game. So, I would like Cam Newton as a Tennessee Titan. He brings some swagger. He'd be more mature. He's getting older. He's going to reach 30 soon if he hasn't already. He probably has at this point, right? He's going to go 30, 31, 32, 34. He's going to get more and more mature. I think he'd be pretty damn good. And then also Matthew Stafford. This one's probably less likely because the Lions do not have someone waiting. But they could just get tired of him. If the Lions go 4-12 or 5-11 again or 6-10, they could just say, you know what, we got to do something. Let's trade Matthew Stafford. Okay, so both of those probably aren't happening. Like I said, we're going to start with the most unrealistic and then become realistic down the line. How about this one? It's going to be surprising. Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady is an unrestricted free agent in 2020, and this would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. John Robinson, former Patriots executive. Mike Vrabel, former Patriots player who played alongside Tom Brady. We have the Patriots players like Deion Lewis, like Logan Ryan, like Malcolm Butler. If the Patriots decide after this season, because Brady did not play that well, or he got injured, or something went wrong, and they don't want to extend him, and they like Jarrett Stidham, who they took in this draft, they could say, you know what, dude, you're going to be 43 this upcoming season, you're gone. And this would be the perfect fit. Now, would we want a 43-year-old Tom Brady? Because Tom Brady would be 43. Make no doubt about it. He would be 43 starting that season, in that 2020 season. Maybe 42, but I'm pretty sure 43. Okay, that's old. That is old. But, man, this guy just keeps beating Father Time, man. And if we can get 1 year out of him, and our roster is even better that next year with Jeffrey Simmons, coming off of a good, healthy offseason, another year of A.J. Brown, another year of development for Corey Davis. Hopefully, Derrick Henry ended up earning his extension. Could Brady come in for 1 year, take us to the Super Bowl? Because I think our roster is better than the Patriots, to be quite honest with you. Especially with Gronkowski. I really do, outside of that quarterback position. Now you put in that quarterback position, it's a good fit. It's something to look out for. Brady right now in May, no extension with the Patriots. This is something to look out for. Still unrealistic, but something to look out for. Then we get to Drew Brees, another old man. Yeah, so we're talking about a bunch of old men, but again, we're looking at this Titans roster. It's young. I think it just needs that quarterback. It needs that spark, that quarterback to take it to the next level. Could Brees be that? He could be. Now, Brees, I'm less optimistic for than Brady. I think Brady's better than Brees at this point. I don't think it's very close. I think Brees has such a good run game in New Orleans. I think he has such good weapons, especially with Michael Thomas leading the way. Whereas Brady still does a lot of things on his own. So I would not be in love with this. I don't think we'd win a Super Bowl with Drew Brees, to be quite honest with you. I think the Saints, their roster is, I think it's actually better than ours. So I don't think this would be the answer, but it'd be something to look out for. Phillip Rivers. I'd like this. If the Chargers say after this year, we just can't win with Phillip Rivers. Rivers 2020 will be 38. I still think he has a couple years left. I would be okay with this. Now, all of these three men, Rivers, Brees, Brady, obviously, you're going to have to draft a quarterback. Okay, you're going to have to draft a quarterback, and I draft one early. Hopefully, a guy like Jake Fromm falls to us. And honestly, I would take one first round. I would honestly make that investment. If you get one of these old men, Brady, Brees, or Rivers, first round. And I expect us to at least, even if things go disastrous, Marcus Mariota comes in, gets injured week 1, I still expect us to win at least 7 games. With Ryan Tannehill, we can make the playoffs. He's made the playoffs 11-5 with the Miami Dolphins, maybe 10-6. So I would still expect us to be in the middle of the first round. Hopefully Jake Fromm or Tua Tagovailoa would fall to us. We're going to get to them in a second. Take a first round if you're getting one of these old men. Old man, you better get one of them. I mean, first round. Go double down. Make sure you're getting it ready to go. At the very worst, second round. But you would have to make that investment. So that's something to look out for. But Rivers, I would like. I put Rivers over Brees. Brady versus Rivers, I don't know. Because, we just want that one Super Bowl. We just want to taste that ring. I feel like Brady, even at 43, might still be more likely to get it than Rivers because he's just been doing it for so damn long. He's going to come in the building and just change everything and just add that championship mentality to this team. But I'll give it to Rivers, though. So I'll say Rivers. So Rivers is my number 1, Brady 2, Brees 3, the old men. Okay, now outside of the old men, we have some guys that are toting that line, okay, of Marcus Mariota's line. And if they make the market, they probably failed this year. So why are we going to go down their road if their teams do not want to extend them? Now, let's start with the top of that list with Dak Prescott. I expect the Cowboys to extend Dak Prescott. I highly doubt he's going to make the market. But if he does, I would like it. Now, who do I like more, Dak Prescott or Marcus Mariota? Honestly, it's close. I do kind of like Dak Prescott in terms of his consistency. He's more consistent. He's healthier. He's played every game. Hasn't missed a game. I think Marcus Mariota at his best is better than Dak Prescott at his best, without a doubt. Dak's been more consistent over his career. And he's been a better winning quarterback, although you can argue his team's been better, and I would actually buy that argument. But I would actually like Dak a little bit, to be honest with you, right now. And Dak's younger, and he's done more in his career. That's just the truth. So but even though I like Dak more, they're close. We can all admit they're close. Statistically, Dak blows Mario out of the water, but they're close. If we really were not okay with Mariota, why would we be okay with Dak? Only reason for me is just because we want a healthy quarterback, and Dak provides that. He has not shown an injury history. I don't expect him to. He's bulkier, he's stronger. He would provide that. There'd be less upside for sure, but he would provide that. So I'd actually be down with that, but again, I don't expect him to hit the market. Then we go back down this road. Jameis Winston. Now, I had Jameis Winston ranked over Marcus Mariota when they came out in the 2015 NFL Draft. I've been wrong on that, okay? Marcus Mariota has been better. But we were just talking about upside. Winston has a higher upside. But he also has a lower downside, and that downside rears its head way more often. I mean, Mariota will not have a 4-interception game, except for that weird game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, whereas Winston's going to give you like 2 or 3 a year. At least 3+, okay? Interceptions, he's going to give you at least 3 games a year. So you're going to have some ugly games with him, but I still think, man, if he could just sit on the bench for like a year or 2, shut up, calm down, relax, study film a little bit, and just take the pressure off him, I still think there's a franchise quarterback in Jameis Winston. I really do. He's just so talented. And he just walked into Florida State day 1, took it over, and as a redshirt freshman, I mean not as a true freshman, but as a redshirt freshman, became famous Jameis, a sensation week 1, took them all the way to the championship and won undefeated. Incredible to me, still to this day. As a true pocket quarterback, there was no gimmicks, there was nothing fake about it. That Auburn game, he came back, he won it, game-winning touchdown. Maybe he's still riding the coattails of that, but I mean, that was just so legitimate and true to me. That's not a Vince Young championship. That's not a Tim Tebow championship. That was a true pro-style quarterback championship that was won from beginning to end. And then the second year, he struggled, but he still showed a lot of good traits to me. So I'm still a believer in Jameis Winston. But would you really want to go down that road? Like, yeah, we're going to do the switcheroo. Mariota's out and Jameis Winston's in. No. And if Winston failed, if Winston's on the market next year, it's because even Bruce Arians couldn't save him. So Jameis Winston, I would need someone to compliment him. So I'd be okay with Winston, and you take a 1st or 2nd round quarterback, and we'll see who wins. I would be okay with that. But Winston and just riding with Winston and saying, here we go with Jameis Winston, that's enough. Ryan Tannehill in-house. So if Mariota gets injured, Tannehill comes in, he could kill it. And that's a distinct possibility, people. We just saw Ryan Tannehill take the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs, winning either 10 or 11 games, and that was only, I want to say, 2 years ago, maybe 3. But it was like the first year with Adam Gase. That could happen. I mean, I'm telling you, that's why I'm confident about the Titans making the playoffs this year, because I know Tannehill can come in and win games. It'd be a mirage. It'd be fool's gold. And Tannehill at his best is Marcus Mariota at his good. Mariota at his best is better than Ryan Tannehill, and I truly believe that. And they're very similar quarterbacks, people. I mean, I literally compared Mariota to Tannehill coming out, a mix of like Ryan Tannehill, Alex Smith, and I want to say someone else I can't remember right now, but someone that was better than those two. And he hasn't lived up to that expectation, unfortunately, yet, but I still think he can. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. I really do, and I still stand by that. So, a mix of the three. He's not Aaron Rodgers level. So, Tannehill is just Marcus Mariota light, you know? He's like Marcus Mariota 0. He's like diet Marcus Mariota. Like, he's very similar. He's also injury prone. He's not as mobile, but he's mobile. He's definitely mobile. He used to play wide receiver. So, I just wouldn't understand it. I'd be okay with him as a transitional guy. You keep Tannehill, you re-sign him to like a 1 or 2 year deal, and you take a first round quarterback. I'd be okay with that, but outside of that, we're not like that. Teddy Bridgewater, no. Again, I'd be okay with Bridgewater in a combination of another guy, but I've never been over. I actually like Bridgewater coming out of college, but in the league, I haven't seen the upside. I really haven't seen it. So Teddy Bridgewater again would have to be coupled with a guy. And then we get to the ridiculous. Eli Manning, no, please, dear God, no. No, 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 no. No. If I see Eli Manning on this team, I will lose it. I don't want him here. Again, I'd be okay with him coupled with a first-round quarterback, but that is it. That is the absolute maximum. No way should we go all in on Eli Manning. Although, maybe if we make the playoffs, he could turn into playoff Eli, but I'm not going to bet on that. And then we have the last free agent option, Blake Bortles. Hell no. Okay? Hell no. So with that, and that's regardless. That's even paired with the first-round quarterback or anything. That's a big no, 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 no. So that's the free agent options. Very expensive, very interesting. Look out for this. There's a lot of names here, a lot to digest here. I excluded Jacoby Brissett because he doesn't deserve to play. I just think he's so overrated. He doesn't play anyway. And Case Keenum is another possibility, but no. So let's also discuss just very briefly the draft guys. So we have 3 guys in the draft. We have Tua Tagovailoa, okay? We have Justin Herbert from Oregon, and we also have Jake Fromm from Georgia. Now, I've not done extensive work on these guys. That's for next year, not for this year. The one I can speak to the most is Tua, because I watched a good amount of Alabama games this year. He stunk against Georgia, bad. And I've not seen one game from Marcus Mariota when I studied him extensively where he looked that bad in college. So the worst of Tua Tagovailoa will look worse than Marcus Mariota. I can tell you that right now. I can guarantee you that. And Mariota did not have that talent. Mariota was not throwing to no damn Jerry Jeudy every other play. Throwing to that other deep route wide receiver that they have every other play. Their tight end, their offensive line. Mariota didn't have that at Oregon. Mariota had a rookie of that Oregon, Royce Freeman. And he also had like some guys that could not make the league, like Anthony Thomas has been, not really doing anything in terms of actually receiving, and some other guys that could not make the league, right? So I'm convinced right now that Mariota is a better prospect than Tua is. Mariota was a better prospect than Tua is. I'm actually really convinced of that. More athletic, arm. I think their arms are comparable in terms of arm strength. I think accuracy. Mariota was more accurate coming out of college. So I think we'd be foolish, man. I think if you put Mariota on Alabama, just think back. You know how dominant, dude. Think about how dominant Mariota was on his own at Oregon. And since he's left, they ain't done squat. You put Mariota on Alabama. Dude, he almost faced Alabama, okay? They just got bounced by Ohio State. So luckily he didn't. But, so I don't know about that. Now, Herbert, is he making the impact Mariota was at Oregon? No, but he is more pro style in terms of he's 6'6", and he has a stronger arm, and he has more of that prototypical build. So I'll buy into that, and I'll watch more tape on him, and I'll let you know about that. And then Jake Fromm, I don't know anything about. Right? I've seen some games of him, but I don't know enough to make a call. But what I like is that those are 3 first-round guys right now. Now, one of them may fall to the second round. And I'm thinking more and more Tua might, honestly. I think people are really kind of overrating Tua. And I was really on the Tua bandwagon early in the season, but against Georgia and Clemson, man, he disappointed me. And I'm starting to have my doubts about it. But we'll see. But those are 3 guys that we know. I'll tell you right now, I like Mariota as a prospect more than Tua. And it's going to be shocking. I know Tua had 43 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, national championship. I know. That's my personal thing right now. I think you're getting a worse version of Marcus Mariota. And they're not really comparable in terms of their games. I'm just saying, in terms of a prospect. And that concerns me. But Fromm and Herbert, people seem to like. And there are options there. So I think there's a lot of options in 2020 if Marcus Mariota proves not to be the franchise quarterback. I don't want to go down this road because we're talking about a lot of old men. We're talking about a lot of hopeful trades and then some first round guys that I don't know yet. Hopefully Mariota prove me right. You come out and you absolutely kill it in 2020. And it's going to be very interesting how they manage this cap. Don't expect any free agent signings next year because we have $50 million right now in cap space. If we re-sign Mariota, that's going to be, and I'm going to predict right now, it's going to be like $27 million per year. Kevin Byard needs an extension. That's probably going to be about $12 million per year, maybe more. And also Jack Conklin could if he has a good year. And Derrick Henry. Dude, that's like all of our cap space next year. So Mariota's going to have a lot to prove because if they're going to dedicate a lot of their cap space next year to Mariota, he's going to have to show up. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on what the Titans should do if Marcus Mariota proves not to be the franchise quarterback. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.